Hi guys, Martin88 here and welcome back to another FIFA 22 video and welcome back to another tactics video here on the channel. And today we're looking at the 4-4-2 second variation, which was a formation and a tactic that I've been encouraged to look at and use and cover by you guys, to be quite honest. So there's an open invitation to any of you to go into the comments and ask me to have a look at formation, have a bit of a play and put my version of the tactics up. So I played some rivals games with these tactics and we are going to go through them in the second. I always test them out on, say, like champs qualification or rivals, anything like that, just to see how they actually go. So on screen you can see there, so it's the 4-4-2 second variation. For those of you that don't know what a second variation actually means, instead of having two central midfielders, you have two CDMs, which is quite a big difference, to be fair, and we're going to go into that right now. So you can see on screen the team that I would use for that formation, and let's go straight into the tactics and take you through them, my friends. So of course this is just a template of what I wanted to go for and what I used. Of course, like, you know, adapt them how you see fit, but you know, I would always encourage you not to veer too far off, because the thing is, although I don't play hundreds of games with these tactics, I do have a very good understanding of what everything means, what it does, etc, you know. So here we go. So this is a little bit different to what I would normally do. I'd normally always just be on balance, but I feel like that this 4-4-2 second variation, if you're not careful, it can invite a lot of pressure, and we don't want to completely be sitting ducks. So pressure on heavy touch just means that if there's a chance for that ball to be won, the opponent still knows that, you know, we're there and we're on them. Okay, we don't want them to feel comfortable that they've just got all the time on the ball and, you know, can dominate the ball, etc. We want them to know that yes, we're quite compact and deep and solid, but equally that if they make a mistake, we're on them like a ton of bricks. Defensive width, I always narrow that down. So we've gone down to 45. You could do 40 if you want. Yeah, because I just like the defense to be nice and compact, because most people they're most dangerous when they're attacking through the middle of the pitch, which is one of the reasons why having two CDMs is a good thing in this formation. So, you know, one of the biggest plus points is that you can be so compact, you know. So let's exploit that. Bring those fullbacks in, and then we've got, you know, 6 players, really quite deep and central, which is going to be tough for your opponents to break through. Defensive depth, 50. Definitely don't want to reduce that, or we really are just going to be sitting ducks. We've still got to impose ourselves a little bit on our opponent. Build up play, balanced. Is something for what I would class as quite neutral formations, is something that would always go for. The only times that we would really look at change that is if you're going to change a tactic to chase a game, and then you might go to like fast build up or long ball, so you win it, you can just pump it forward immediately. Or if you're going for a, you know, a Jurgen Klopp Liverpool aggressive style, and you might use, say, a 4-2-2 and you want to be on the front foot, then again we might go to like fast build up or something like that. But for most what I'd call neutral balanced formations, like 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2, this second variation of 4-4-2, balanced is the way forward for me. And like I always say, you can then have variation. You know, you can have variation. We can slow it down, go out wide. We can slow it down, go up to a striker. We can play fast and play a long ball over the top. You'll see some of the player instructions. So it gives us that variation, and variation is definitely one of the things that you need, no matter what level of FIFA that you're playing at. Whether you're one of the best players in the world or you're just starting out, having variation within your game is key. Chance creation, I really like direct passing. And I like what it does, so that's on for me. And what it does do is, crucially, if you see on screen there, once the team enters the attacking zone, what we don't ever want is a situation where we've won the ball in our own half and our team just goes and leaves us stranded. You're like, who am I going to pass it to? Which something like fast build-up would do in terms of like the build-up play. Whereas with chance creation and direct pass, it still gives us a tactic to get on the front foot and still take a game to our opponent in the final third. But the crucial thing that I've just said there is in the final third. Now, you don't mind when you're in the attacking areas, people making runs. That's what you want. You know, you want our AI to pull their AI around, create havoc, spaces, confusion. You know, you don't want it stagnant. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Defensive width 45. Now, I always bang the drum that if you play a wide formation and you want to bring it in really narrow, then play a narrow formation. But I feel like changing it from 50 to 45 is not that big a deal, and me personally, I don't want them completely out of the game. They're still going to be very wide, and yeah, so I just bring them in just a tad. But if you want to leave it on 50, you can do. Players in the box is on 6. The way I always think about that is 2 strikers, the 2 wide men, and the 2 CDMs are people that are going to be involved in our attack. So that's why I always just count the players that are going to have join in my attack and just put it on that. Corners and free kicks are on 1, which I'd say to you every time is just to try and avoid a counter attack. So here we go. Player instructions, right? So literally always the whole back 4 is going to be on stay back while attacking. You know what I'm going to say, and actually with this formation, you can get those fullbacks into the game and forward. You know, they're an out ball, especially with having the winger there. Having your wingers occupies, you know, left back and the left winger as an example. So your right back will have a bit more time on the ball. So, you know, you can get them involved, dribble the ball up the pitch, you know, trigger runs, etc., etc., and just try and get them involved in the attack that way. It will always work. Okay, this is the main feature of the team, really, isn't it? The fact that you've got 2 CDMs. So, for me, what would be the point in, especially on the online, which is, of course, this is what it's for, in having 2 CDMs and just letting them do what they want? You know, the huge strength of this formation is that you're going to be very difficult to break down and very compact. So let's go with that. It's simple, really. So I have both of them on stay back while attacking, but don't get mixed up by that. Yes, that doesn't mean that they're going to be making piercing runs, you know, into the box, but we don't need that, as you'll see in a minute. But they will end up as like your safety net, your pivot. For me, I've got Son and Garrincha out wide. You go down the wing with Son, you go down the wing with Garrincha, you try and do something, maybe you want to feed it into the box, but you can't, but you can come back. You can come back to them 2. They're your pivot, they're your safety net to start playing. So I've got De Bruyne here, really good on the ball. Can he then fizz a ball into the box? He might go back out wide to Garrincha, maybe sideways to Hakimi. You want that base, whereas if they're on different instructions, they might abandon those positions and then you're stranded, and then there is just a huge hole in that middle of the pitch. So for me, why change that? Very important for me, cover on centre. We've got fullbacks and wingers in this game, so obviously absolutely no way are we going to have it on cover wing. And also cut passing lanes, because where we're deep, we want to be cutting off those passes basically into the box, okay? This is not something that I use too much, but for this particular formation, yeah, we want to try and have all angles covered. Onto the wingers, so this is the same for the left winger and the right winger, which is Son and Garrincha. Come back on defence, which of course when we haven't got the ball, we do obviously want to make it difficult for them, but when we're attacking, we've got direct passing on, so they will be making forward runs, penetrating runs, and also we've got get into the box for crosses, which just means that if the ball is on the other side of the pitch, that they will be making a run to support, okay, basically. Now, if you think about that Garrincha has got the ball 25 yards from goal and he's out on the wing, What it means is that Son won't be hovering 25 yards from goal. He'll be making a run, which for me is what we need. We've got De Bruyne and Fred there as our pivot to come back to. So we want some confusion. We want bodies in there just to help us create chances and score goals, basically. Up to the strikers. Pretty standard stuff for me anyway when I've got two strikers. Here we got Eusebio and Moments Cantona. One of them in behind, one of them comes short. Always the faster one on getting behind. Remember that variation that I was talking about? Well, here's another example of that. Both on stay forward. I think that's important, right? If you win the ball and we win it deep, we will know that those two strikers are there for us, and you should just instinctively know where they are, how to get the ball to them. Maybe we could go long, maybe we can fizz it into Cantona's feet, etc, etc. So yeah, we just know where they are. If they were on comeback on defence, you're going to have a hard time. We're going to be so pinned in, which is not what we want. So yeah, Eusebio getting behind and Cantona coming is just on standard, which means he'll be there ready to receive the ball. So yeah, guys, there we go. Quite an interesting formation and set of tactics, to be fair. It was advised to me that it's a formation that gets slept on, and I would agree. So guys, there we go. That's it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Please drop a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. See you later, guys. Bye bye.